So that was an interesting drive. Thanks again for that, Gordon. Really enjoyed that. Now we're going to go out in my RS, same roads, and probably press on a bit more this time because I'm a bit more comfortable with this car. And Gordon, since I've had this, 6,427 miles now.
Good man.
I don't think you've properly experienced it, have you?
Not yet.
So
I was there the day you got it.
back with the manual. This will be good. I'm looking forward to this. See, notice the ride already.
Yeah. Two very different cars, mate.
Oh, aren't they just? Right, let's get that off.
The first thing I'm looking at is how much smaller your car feels at the front.
It
My
does. It
bonnet-
does feel narrower. Yeah, yours
No, my bonnet seems to go on forever. It's.
You sit a lot lower in your car. I feel really high, and I know these seats are lower than the optional shell seats. So I think the shell seats, well, my experience when I did go in one with the shell seats was that they are just way too high. Here we go. I have no temperature in anything yet, so we'll let it all get warmed through first.
Is this the normal mode?
Yeah. But that noise that you're hearing is fake. That's coming through the speakers.
Is there any way you can turn that off? Or?
Apparently there is. You can faff about with the wiring and actually disable it, but
There's nothing from your computer that
no,
says that?
no. There's nothing. There's very little you can do with this thing. You know, I hook my phone up to it and it works well enough, but you can't disable the fake engine noise with settings. You can start, you know, taking wires off and plugs off things, but I enjoy it. It adds to me. It adds to the sense of theatre that comes with driving one of these things.
And that's the first difference. My car in its loudest mode.
Yeah,
In
and
terms
actually,
of exhaust noise and engine noise and the rest of it.
that was really noticeable then. Just pulling away, just quite sedately, you know, half throttle and up to about 3,000 RPM. You really could hear stuff going on.
You know where you're in.
Yeah.
Isn't this a pretty country?
And the roads we've got as well, they're fantastic.
This
So-
countryside's amazing.
What do you think of this ride? I mean, before I start driving it, we can just talk about the ride, but
Okay, so
it's quite fidgety, isn't it, compared to yours?
again,
And even yours in the firm setting.
Compared mine to the Sport Plus mode, and this is still a bumpier ride,
Yeah.
a firmer ride. Bumpier is probably the wrong word, but yeah, definitely firmer.
So let me stick it in the firm damper mode. So we're now in the firm damper mode, and we should get bounced around a fair bit more.
Yeah.
Actually, you can hear my foot squeaking on the throttle pedal where I'm kind of bouncing up and down. But yeah, it would be a bit tiresome if it was this firm all the time.
All the time.
People say it's just too firm. Yeah, I disagree. I think it's all right.
I think there's a place for it, but this would annoy me.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I wouldn't want to drive with it like this all the time.
It's still a very quiet, very comfortable place to be.
Oh, exactly, and that's what I really like about this thing. That most of the time it's like this. Is there much more road noise? I don't
Not
know. It'd be
really, I
interesting to
wouldn't say
see
so.
when I look at the video footage, because I've not changed the settings on the microphone, so it will pick up the same noise, and I wonder what they're like back to back. See, much as I said, I like that automatic gearbox. I love doing this. I could just do this all day long, just for fun. Well, I do, just for fun.
Now that firecracker pop, that I don't get in my car.
And that's normal mode as well. That's not sport mode. It's meant to do it a bit more in sport mode, but to me it does it just as much in normal mode as it does in sport.
So that's just an overrun?
No, it's when it's on the exhaust cycle on the cylinder and the exhaust valve is open, it injects a little bit of fuel and sparks to make it bang.
Okay.
So it's a complete waste of fuel.
Fine.
And it's completely engineered and it's completely fake, but it's pretty random. I think in the early cars, before they did, I think it's called the PCM, Power Control Module Update, before they did that, it was a lot more kind of regular, and it didn't really do it in normal mode. But now I'm in sport normal mode, I mean. So if I just slow down, we go through the gears, over 3k, foot off, there you go. So, and if I did that in sport mode, so now I'm in sport mode, actually did less that time. So sport mode, to me, people say it makes the exhaust louder. I think it just sharpens up the throttle, and I quite like the softer throttle, so I just leave it in normal most of the time. Something vibrating down here. Build quality. Let's talk about build quality. Yours is a far nicer place to be.
Yeah.
You've got proper leather dashboard, haven't you?
Yeah, proper leather
Very
dashboard.
nice. Full leather seats. Yeah. Have you got heated steering wheel?
I don't have a heated steering wheel.
There you go. I've got something.
And
you don't.
my steering wheel's fatter than yours.
It is fatter. I'm quite happy with this. It feels good enough.
It took a little. Yeah, it probably took a good week to get used to that steering wheel. Now you're used to it. It's good.
Yeah. I know it doesn't feel bad. It just felt a bit alien.
The first time you get into it, it's a bit strange.
Yeah.
So yeah, build quality.
I'm starting to get a few rattles now. So yeah, to anyone out there that says Fords are badly built, I wouldn't say they're badly built, but yeah, I've done 6,500 miles now and just starting to get a few squeaks and rattles. It's a bit hit and miss. Sometimes it's completely silent, even over bumpy roads, and I think, do you know what, it is well built. And then other times, I think it's all dependent upon the temperature. It seems to be pretty solidly screwed together. But yours, I think, without a doubt, is made of nicer things.
Yeah, but again, you know, it is BMW refinement. That's what they're known for.
That's another thing that you paid for, that you got with your extra 7k. And let's not forget, your car was optioned with about £10,000 worth of options, wasn't it? So if you just bought a standard one, you'd probably be able to get a basic 440 for about 35 grand.
Yes, no, those are the offers, actually, to be fair.
Okay, so they are pretty comparable. You know, like I say, apart from the doors, the cylinders,
and the leather interior that I've got actually comes as standard.
Yes.
That was not an individual thing. It wasn't something I'd beefed up. That was the standard trim, which is a nice, comfortable place to be. But what you get with your car is flair, and it's got that in Space.
It has that theatre, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So this is one of my favourite stretches of road in the whole wide world.
The thing is, in this car, you just go through that little section in there, scared the hell out of me in mine. Doing it in this car, we're still going just the same speed. It feels a far more planted.
It's just a bit more connected.
Yeah.
I think the grip, I don't know how they did it with this, because just the wider tyres, I don't think just the wider tyres would do it, but it's got so much mechanical grip.
When I look at the things like the centre console there, all of this is completely comparable.
Yeah, but nasty scratchy plastics, all a bit cheap. You know, this is my second one here. The first one didn't clip in properly. This isn't leather, but it's soft enough. But do you know what? I tend not, when I'm driving along, to do this.
No,
the bits that you touch,
I don't think anyone ever does.
The pedals is the important thing to me. Everything, the spacing, especially for heel and toe, is absolutely spot on.
Everything that connects you to the car is made of good stuff.
Such a shame.
I do love this car.
It's a bit bonkers, isn't it?
If we could get the same four-wheel drive system into that BMW.
Well, they do a four-wheel drive system, don't they?
They do the X-Drive.
that feel quicker, or how does that? I mean, compared to yours, yours just wafts, doesn't it?
Mine, yeah, but this is it. It's almost like you're on a magic carpet, aren't you? It's like just this. Yeah, it's got that theatre. It's got that. You know, you can hear that sort of
the exhaust.
popping and the exhaust, and you just know that.
So here's a question then. Do you wish you bought one of these? Do I wish I'd bought a 440?
No.
I don't wish I'd bought a 440. Definitely not. I think if I was going to buy a 4 Series, it would need to be the M, because the 440, by definition, by not being the M4, has to have some compromises, and it leans more to being the daily driver. And yes, your car is far and away the better car as a daily driver, and for the 97% of mileage that you do, it's the better place to be. But for that extra 3%, and as someone who's passionate about driving,
this is fun.
I think this comfortably edges it.
My car is great. It's comfortable. It's fast when I want it to be. Your car, on the other hand, like my car would put a smile on my face most days. Yeah. This was more than just for that 3%. For what you just did right there, I was happier than a puppy in a butcher's toe. It's insane. And you don't get to experience that every day. That's the kind of cool thing about it, though. You don't drive this back from work and go, oh, I'm just going to sit there and give it some. You drive back from work.
And when you do, okay, what are the compromises? How does this differ to yours? It's a bit more fidgety, but it's not. Yours isn't a great deal quieter. And so you don't have to use your left leg, and you don't have to stir this thing about. But I like having the sharpness, the fidgety ride. That's something I can live with quite happily.
I think it would annoy you if you had to drive, say, 50 miles in each direction to work every day.
It would get a bit tiresome, I think, but what am I, 13, 14 miles each way? It's not too bad.
Exactly.
I can do
it takes you.
Let's go for firm suspension.
It takes you 20 minutes to get to work.
Yeah.
So it's 20 minutes each way that you're looking forward to. Because you look forward to that.
Oh, I do. When I'm at work and I'm getting towards the end of the day, it's not that I'm finishing work that I look forward to. It's that I get to drive my car again. It's the ability to just floor it early around corners.
It's being able to put this into a corner and just knowing the grip's there when you want it. Like, it'll be there. You don't have to worry about it. It'll be there. But in the best possible way, I'm so glad I didn't get something like this, because myself and a hedge would become acquainted seriously quickly.
Oh, I think you'd have to be pretty ham-fisted to put one of these in a hedge.
This car is so well developed, so well planted, that it would give me more confidence than I should.
Yeah, maybe.
And I'd expect the car to catch itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, you get a bit slippy, the car will come back. Don't worry.
No, it does move. You'll see.
14 years of racetrack experience, 14 years of driving schools and race schools, and you name it, you've done it.
Yeah.
Behind you before you've got yourself into one of these.
I guess, it was kind of the right time. It was about time I treated myself to something like this.
Yes, but you...
Hold on. Sorry, I've got to do this.
I shall stand back and wait.
It's mental.
I swear we're like children now. Okay. Yeah, we're both smiling.
It's ridiculous. Okay. I've had this for 6,500 miles in 5 months, and I'm still not tired of that. I will never tire of that. Should we try it in drift mode? Let's go drift mode. Okay, we're now in drift mode. Let's see what happens around this roundabout. washer fluid level low warning. I wasn't expecting that.
You got a sign, there's all the washer fluids falling out.
All the washer fluid's gone. Right, let's get back into normal mode. So drift mode, it gets a bit loose at the back, doesn't it?
Jeez, like, yeah.
Like really loose. So next weekend, Gordon, we're doing that, Rockingham. That's going to be good.
Oh. Every time I get into your car, I get the biggest grin on my face.
It's fun. We need to try launch control now because you've not experienced that. So I've done it.
Would you like me to
How many times have I done launch control?
Would you like the handbook?
No, I don't need the handbook. I've done it 3 times, so this will be my 4th time. But you need to experience it. Again, it's about theatre.
By the way, you were the first person to do launch control.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for that. Okay, right, you ready?
Oh yeah.
How did that feel?
That is ridiculous.
I flat shifted then. That's the first time I've ever done it with a flat shift. And actually, it didn't feel too bad. That felt all right. I was quite happy with that.
Oh yeah.
So what did it feel like from the passenger seat?
I thought I was going to smack off your headrest. The thing pushed me so hard.
It'd be interesting to watch the video back. So there you go. That's my 4th launch, but my first time with flat shifting. And actually, yeah, I was always a bit nervous that I'd struggle with I kept my foot on the floor between each shift, from 1st to 2nd and from 2nd to 3rd, and it felt okay. So that's it. Flat shifting from now on. You've now felt a bit more about what this car's about.
I still love your car.
You're going to take your 440 back and swap it for one of these?
Not likely, bud, but you know.
You're going to stick with what you got, your Creamy 6,
I'm
your
happy
Waft
with
Mobile.
The way I said it to you earlier on, if I put your wife and my missus next to each other,
you're still going to go home with your
I'm
wife.
still taking home my missus.
Yeah, roger that.
It's not to say I don't love your family.
No, of course, yeah. Yeah, let's go firm suspension mode.
God, don't. Look at this. I'm still over the place.
It's a bit bonkers, isn't it? How do I get round there?
I don't know.
Oh, I've got 4-wheel drive, we're okay.
Yeah, this is true. This is a rally sport car, mate.
Look at this. It is. Well, it's a rally car. I should be able to
Jesus.
ace this.
Can you imagine how Harry Vatman must have sat there trying to cruise around?
It's unbelievable. Mind you, this is in racetrack mode.
Yeah, hold on a second. Which racetrack?
Well, Goodwood's quite smooth. I'm sure it'll be fine around Goodwood.
Okay, well, there's only one way to find out, isn't it?
Oh, this is mental.
Ah, there's a thing of beauty. Look at those.
And there we go.
That's just been thoroughly good.
Nice.
Dude, your car took off like a rocket. You're going to watch that video and piss yourself.
I want to see your facial expression. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Well, what a fun day that was. That was such a laugh. Really interesting to compare and contrast the 2 cars. Are they comparable? I know some people will say they're not, but similar price point, similar power, similar weight, similar torque. Yeah, if you were looking at one of these, I could see that you'd want to consider one of those. But they're 2 remarkably different cars. Aside from the gearbox, which annoyingly I kind of quite enjoyed. But aside from the gearbox and the cylinder count and the driven wheels and the doors and everything else, they are remarkably similar, but they both go about doing what they do in very, very different ways. And when I was talking to Gordon afterwards, we kind of thought, do you know what? When you're driving at 5/10 or less, 7/10 or less, this is nothing compared to the BMW. But when you just want to get in a car and wring its neck out just for the hell of it, that's where the compromise is on the 440 show, and that's where the RS very much shines. Driving just for the thrill of it. It's sharper, it's harder, it's firmer, feels a little bit more keener, even though the 440, I think you get the sense of acceleration in gear anyway as a driver, more so than you do in this. But this, for the 5% of miles that I do when I'm just absolutely on it, this is far and away the better car. So do I have any regrets over buying this when I could have had one of those? Absolutely not. RS all day long. So as mentioned before, we've got a bit more to come between these two cars. Next weekend we're at Rockingham for the wet handling day, or the drift day. We'll see what they're really like, comparing the four-wheel drive versus the two-wheel drive on the wet handling facilities they have there. Weekend after, we're sticking them on the rolling road, so we'll get to see how much power his has got and how much power mine has got. I'm sure mine is below book and his is above, because otherwise the extra 20 horsepower I've got and the 100 kilos less, I don't know what difference that makes, because there was nothing to separate us on the road today. So that's to follow. If you'd like to see that, please subscribe and turn notifications on. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share it and give it a thumbs up. And I will see you all in my next video. Thank you for watching.